What's up? I'm on Vindictus, all that good stuff. My day's going pretty good. Hopefully yours is. You can always leave a comment on that if you wish. Just doing some general gameplay. I'll be playing another game a little bit later. But I figured I would do this one. Day's going pretty good, just chilling out, all that good stuff. Handling all my streams and everything that I got going on today. I may or may not be able to stream tomorrow. I got a tooth appointment tomorrow, so I may not be able to, but we will try possibly. I hope you enjoy these general gameplay videos and streams and all that I happen to do. I might be a little laggy. I got another thing running at this point of time as well. Still farming my journeyman stuff. It's taking me a while. It's all good at getting the AP and everything that I can get to get all my character's skills and stuff up anyway, so it doesn't really matter too much on that. Okay, Lily, get down. You're making me hot anyway. Might have to turn on the air conditioner. What you think, Lily? May have to do that for a second. It's getting a bit hot in here. I'll go ahead and turn that on for a second. Won't take me long. It's not that far away. There you go. That should hopefully be better. It's a pretty tedious process getting all your crafting stuff on this game. I've definitely noticed that. Once I get it, though, I got it, and I don't have to worry about it anymore. Looks like that's the last one right here. go. Got that. Should maybe be able to do it another time, maybe. Nope. Let's see if death is on at all. It is around the time that he might be present. I'm not seeing him. He usually hangs out over there if he's anywhere. At least that I see him, that is. Yeah, I got that taken care of. Let's see, we'll take care of the things that are over here. Of course, I shot him out onto the other side like I always do. Moving on. I'm actually starting to kind of think of a poetry thing right now, actually. Uh, I'm debating on if I want to do it or not. I'm seriously thinking about it. Sometimes I don't always get the best reaction from that. I'm debating if I should or not. Particularly when I do it on my streams, actually. Not that I can't handle it or anything, it's just... I think I will, actually. I think this one's a good one anyway. Well, I guess here it goes. Precious flower that blossoms when it is that you happen to try. When it is you, for your aspiration, you try. Blossoms and it opens, just like it is. A butterfly starts to fly, it opens. When these things such happen, do you see for what the blossom, for how and when it happens? Is it something that you wish to see? For what it is within yourself. You do not know that happens to be, that blossoms as it is, your dream begins to be. For where it is that it could be, the butterfly taking its flight, as it lands on the flower amongst its flight. Precious blossom of a flower that may never bloom. If it is, you never take the time to allow it to bloom. Will it be that the butterfly will take its flight? Will it be that amongst that you be a good boxer and do such things in this fight? Will it be that you bob and weave and get to see for what it is this butterfly landing on the flower? As it is, I speak. Do you know for what it is I mean? Is it that you amongst this life you're a good boxer and bob and weave? Precious flower that we may never see, blossoming for what it is you wish to do, and for within your mind you see. Precious flower that may never bloom, if it is that you do not do for what it is that allows it to bloom, when it is amongst these things. Is it that amongst this day we see these things? Once amongst a day different than this, there was a person that chose to do such things as this, and when it is they happen to do so, the flower blossomed as it is they happen to do so. For these ones I speak of are the ones you happen to look up to, for what it is they happen to do that you will not. Will it be that you will see the blossom of your own flower, or will you not? But precious is it within your mind. It will plague you if it is you do not spend this time. No matter for how and when or where. No matter for who's with you and who happens to care. At the time that you happen to be at the end of, for what is, your life. When you're on your deathbed, do you wish to say that your flower blossomed in the middle of your life? Or will it be that you did not? For this blossom, will you see it, or will you see it not? As it is, you happen to take and do such flight. Will you bob and weave and sting like a butterfly when it is you must fight? Or is it sting like a bee? I don't know, which one is it? Flutter like a butterfly and sting like a bee? Do you do such things in your such a life? Do you get to see the flower blossom for what it is that could be your life? Do you have a joy that happens to overflow for what it is you do and you wish to know? Do you not know that you could be better? No matter for what it is you have done, you can do better. No matter for what mistakes you might have made, there's always, always another day. If it is allotted, of course. Do not know if there will be another day. Well, you should know that, of course. But within for what it is you wish to do, is this not something you wish to do? Is it not amongst this for what it is you wish it to blossom? You think it's too hard to let it blossom? To you, it's not worth for what it is that happens to be effort? But yet, you seem disappointed about something? Do you not know that what I speak is that something? That is why it is you feel that itch. Something that you wish to scratch, but you just cannot get that and get that itch. Yet you seem to be disappointed. Do other things to get your mind off of for what it is you're disappointed. Do it within for what it is that happens to be your means. Of course, do not reach past for what it is that is your means. But would it not be for what it might be that would be worth the effort? If it were that you got the joy because of for what it is you put in for the effort? For what it is that happens to be the reward? For what the flower blossoms, the proof of this reward? Would it be that amongst this you would not? Do not wish to be on the well-lit path in the darkness? You wish to be in the light, not? Many have done it before you. You could get ideas for how it is you do. Even guides for how and when. And for what it is you start to do from the start to the end. Within for what it happens to be the means to plant this flower and get to for what it is. That is the means to allow it to grow for the certain amount of time until you get to see the blossom at that certain time. Yet you say you cannot do, even have resources that others do not. Ones and places that, for what it is I speak, they hear not. Yet you say you are not privileged? Yet you say you do not have for what it is? You are well privileged. Well and over-favored. For some wish to have it, and they are not favored. But you waste it. As it is, you sit here and do nothing. Why it is, there are ones pleading they wish to do something. The flower will not blossom. There are others that wish to see for what is the flower, and they wish to make it blossom. But they do not have for what happens to be the support. Because of the fact you have not done for what it is that you should do, for them to get their support. Not always true for who might be listening, but no matter what service that you happen to be able to do, do you not see that that could be a support to another and a privilege to you? Whatever it may be, simple and common to be seen. That is not what matters. It is for how you do it, for what it is that matters. If you're able to do it better than anyone else, then who would come to you instead of someone else? Unique way that no one else can happen to do, no matter for what it is you are able to do. Simple and for what it might be. For few amongst that, do you see? But the flower for that you do not see? All these wicked things nowadays. I wish to tell you something about this. For every bit of positivity, there is the opposite as well. So, for what it is that you do not listen, there is one that wishes to have evil, that they listen. Do you know what it is I just said? For those that have those great things you wish to do, do you not see that, for what it is I say to you, can be used in the opposite direction? Did you not notice? Since I have started, there has been more, if you have not noticed. But they get for what it is that is their fair reward. When they get that bittersweet, yet to get reward. But the flower that is for what it is that happens to be good, why do you wish to not be for what it is that happens to be good? Do you not know if it is that I happen to do for what it is I do, there is another that would do for the opposite for what it is that I do? Where there is yin, there must be yang. For every good thing, there is a negative as well. For the bigger the light, the bigger the darkness tries to conquer for what is that light. So, this flower you wish to blossom, do you not see why it is very important that you do so? Because if you do not, then somebody else will. But for what they wish to blossom, do you as well? For every bit of positivity that can be seen, there is the opposite as well that can be seen. So this flower you wish to blossom, will you let your light shine and allow it to blossom? Or will you let for what it is that could be the light be diminished and be dark instead of light? Because you choose not to act, there are ones that know for what it is that is being said, and they wish for what it is I say not to be. So they show you the opposite of for what is encouraged by me, and others that do the same. By you not listening, you choosing not to act, because of for what light would be if it were you were to choose. Because of the fact you do not choose to be for what it is. To explain what I mean, if you were to listen and do for what it is that is your dream, all these negative things would also be shown for what would be positive. But instead, because you do not choose to do so, there is more negative than positive. Because of your lack of willingness. Do you get what I mean? For what I am encouraging, I will put it in plain, because you do not choose to do so. I'll put it this way, if you were to choose to do so, you would see just as much positive as you would see negative. But because you choose not to, that amount is lower. Do you get what I'm saying? If you were to do so, the positivity would be greater enough to equal out for what it is that is the negative and overcome it. But because you are choosing not to, it is showing the negative to be more. Because you are allowing it to be more. Because of for what it is that I am saying, and other things such as this, there is a calculated amount of positivity that should come from it. But because of for what it is that is not being done, there is more positive that is not being done than there is negative. So that is why you happen to see a little bit more negative. Because it's already calculated into that calculation. The bigger the light, the bigger the darkness. Did you catch that? The bigger the light, the bigger the darkness. So all this evil that has been going on, you realize that's because of how much light me and others that have been doing the same as me are producing compared to everyone else. Do you catch what I just said? Might want to listen to that carefully. Because of the size of the light being produced by me and others that are doing the same, not necessarily the same way, we are producing the light. If you were to compare to for what all the bad stuff that is happening. It would even out, and the light would overcome for what it is that is the darkness. Just imagine if there were more speaking as it is that I do. And ones not being able to hear or see for what it is that is being said. How much more would there be? Do you not know that theory? Relative force. I have spoke about it. If you compare for what it is that I say and for what is being done. Anyway, I wanted to address that in case a few people didn't realize that. Anyway, for what it is that happens to be this blossom, will it be that this darkness that tries to counter for what it happens to be your blossom, will it be that you will allow it to do so? Will it be that you will not be a good boxer and allow it to be so? Will it be that you will sting like a bee? When it is, you must float like a butterfly and sting like a bee. Will it be that this force will not be measured? For what would be the proper, for what would be the measure? For what amongst this you could be? For what it is amongst the ripples you see? If it were you were to pay attention, and speak of more than what you know, as it is I speak as you do not pay attention. Speak of things that you still do not know. About for what it is, the way that you could go. Could it be that you would move the mountain? If it were you were to tell the mountain? No matter for where it might be, will it be that you will ring the bell and allow that to be seen? Will it be that you will not? Will it be that you will know for what I speak of upon this spot? Will it be that you will not? Will it be that my unseen worries will be something that plagues me? For what it is amongst this that happens to plague me? Why it is the flower happens to blossom? For what it is the light? For what it is that is the blossom? Will it be that you will choose to do for what it is? It has been for what you will do? For what it is that you have the choice if you wish to do? Or will it be that these things will never be seen? Will it be these beautiful blossoms that could be, would never be seen? For why it is that you choose not to act? Why it is all you have to do is choose to act? Would it be amongst that your mind would be willing? For your mind must be willing. But also, for what it is amongst that, you must command your body to do such things as that. Of course, it is said, the mind is willing, but the body is weak. But I'll tell you something that makes it to where it is not weak. Renewing your mind for what it is you know you should do. For where it is you should be, and for what it is you should do. For what it is controlled by your mind. So, your body becomes strong because it is renewed by your mind. For your body can be renewed as well as for what it is that is your mind. But it has to start with what it is that happens to be your mind. For where it is that your body happens to be weak, it is truthfully for what commands your body that is weak. Not the body itself. It is the mind. That is why you must renew for what it is that is your mind. For in order for your body to be weak, for what controls your body must first be weak. Within for what it is that you can control. Do me a favor. Stick out your hand and do this. Oh wait, who just did that? You. Mind is strong. Body is strong. No excuse. It is not the body that is weak. It is your mind that controls the body that is weak. For it all starts amongst the mind. So how about we have that blossom amongst your mind? Will it be amongst this day? Will it be we see the rosebud upon this day? All it needs is a little bit of nurture. For what it is amongst your mind, your body's strength is increased by its nurture. Your cravings to be for what it is that you do not do. They start in your mind, not your body. That should be known by you. But of course, your craving to be lazy. Maybe that's why it was said. The mind is willing, but the body is lazy. Or, aka, the mind is willing, but the body is weak. Sounds a little bit more as it is, your mind is meek. But this blossom, do you not know there's more gifts that come from this blossom? It could be more than what it is you happen to know. More than what you could ever comprehend that could show. If it were, you were to only believe. Beyond for what it is your eyes can see. If you were to not, then what could be accomplished in this spot? What if it were you were not? To think it's not possible. And think instead, anything is possible. Yeah, it might be work. But this joy and happiness that you do not have, do you think you will get that if you do not work? What is it? You do not get your daily bread if it were you were not to work? So how could you get for what would be your daily bread? For what it is that is your happiness? Representation of the bread. How can it be your cup would be overflowing if you do not even put it to where the water is flowing? How could it be that you would say this cannot be done? If it is, you do not even know what can be done. How could it be that you would say, I cannot do that. It takes me too long amongst that day. When all you'd have to do is know for amongst your mind, for where it is to do for what is the blossom in your mind. Could it be that you would know? Could it be that this evidence, proof for what it is that would be shown in ways that you could not comprehend? For what it is you may not even understand for what it is I just said. I wonder, why is it that your dream happens to be for where it is? Does your mind not comprehend for where it could be? Do you not have ears? Do you not have eyes to see? Do you not see for what it is I said earlier? Light being produced by ones overflowing higher than others? But darkness happens to know. So then it happens to, amongst its equal power it shows. Do you not get what it is I just said? For what it is that happens to be the measure of for what is light. The darkness always tries to be equal for what it is that is the light. For in comparison of for what is its true strength. So the bigger the darkness, if you happen to see where there is not light, it means that amongst for what it is you cannot see there is light. That is in comparison the same amount. For what you see the exceeding amount. So will it be that you choose? But I will also tell you something before you choose. If you choose dark, it must always flee. Where there is light, darkness must flee. And when I say darkness, I mean evil. Is what I mean by that. Don't necessarily mean by for what it is that is the color. I just mean the representation that is shown. Doesn't mean you must be perfect to be the representation of for what is considered good. But do know it's a battle. To know for what it is, I know within a few hours, I will get sent greeting from ones that have heard for what it is I said. But I assure you of this, for what you send, if it is not in good tidings, by the end they will be hiding. And they will scurry with their tail between their legs. Back to for who sent them. They will scurry with their legs quivering as their tails between their legs. But your gift that you, and you alone, could do. For what it is, I try to encourage you. Is it not worth for what it is you could get in return? An overflowing cup of joy and happiness in return. Yes, there might be a battle if it is you do something similar for what it is I do. But is there not greatness within you? No matter if it is you wish to admit it or not. There are certain things that you can do, believe it or not, that I could not. No matter if it is I wish to, no matter if it were I learned it from you. Just as it is, there are certain things that only I can do. But you are the one that has to choose. Will it be that you will do such things? Show light in the middle of darkness. Will you let that little light of yours shine? No matter for what difficulty you happen to find. Will it be no matter for what happens to be sent against? A conqueror for what it is, no matter for what is sent. For what it is you happen to see. All these evil things. Pay attention for what it is that I happen to say. And do for what it is that would be equal to for that in this day. And see for what would change. But light always wins, just so you know. No matter for what you think, or you think you know. No matter for when or where, will you let the flower blossom? Will you not? Will we see for what you do? Will we see for what you could be? Will we see for what it is I know could be done? No matter for what it is you wish and to be known. No matter if it is you wish to be unrevealed or to be known. This light you happen to have. Will you allow it to shine and last? Will you allow for what happens to be this darkness? To be for what it is? This darkness? There are easy ways to address such things. No matter for what they wish, or for what wish to be seen. You could be a contributing factor for what it is amongst your life and another person, and be a factor for what it is that would be contributing to for what it would be amongst their life if it were you were to only allow the light. Doesn't mean that you must do it in person in front of every single person. There are multiple resources, no matter the age or the person. Do you not see that you could be something that could affect, for what it is, this life you make? Last thing I will say, as far as that, for what it is you make, something you really need to pay attention to. It may be something that is unknown to you. What this place, and the way that it is, you make it for what it is. For it is written, you were created in the image of a creator. Guess what that makes you? A creator as well. Well, that looks like all the time I have for now. So, until next time.